My name's Nick Callisperis, known to all and sundry as Callie. Now, I grew up in the East End, was born in the East End until one day I became a London cab driver. And I decided to write various stories about my life as a cab driver. And every one of these stories that I'm going to tell you is absolutely true. All the people, all the names were absolutely true. My first story, which I'm about to tell you, I've wrote is Every Job Tells a Tale. It was in the 1980s or thereabouts when I picked up a job from Claridge's, Terminal 3. And when I started going down the M4, my passenger started talking to me. I knew he was a Yank from his accent. I asked him where he was from, and he told me he was from New York. The Bronx, he said. All my life I've lived in the Bronx, lovely place, full of lovely people. He then asked me my name. I told him my name was Nick. He then said, "Are you one of those cockneys that we hear about in America?" I said, yes, I was. And he was thrilled to pieces. He then said to me, "Nick, I wonder if I could ask you a favour." I said, "Yes, of course you can, Harry, anything you like." He then told me that when he was here in the war in 1943, he met a lovely lady who was the love of his life and they intended to get married, and that she lived in Harlesden. At the time, he intended to marry her. Unfortunately, on the middle of the night, the day before they were due to get married, his unit was sent abroad on a very secret mission. He didn't even have time to say goodbye. But before he left, she told him if any reason he had to go, that her door would be painted green, and if he ever came back, providing the door was green, her love would still be alive. Nick, could you possibly take me to this address, just for old time's sake? I'd like to see the street that holds so many memories for me. Harry, are you sure you want to do this? Things must have changed a great deal since those days. Never mind, Nick, at least I will lay the ghost, he replied. So now we went to Harlesden and I found the street. Harry was captivated. Nicky said, "This was exactly how I remember it. Nothing has changed." "What was the house number, Harry?" I asked. He took out a little piece of paper, looked at it again. I don't know why I'm looking at it. It is imprinted on my mind and my heart. It is number 7. We drove slowly down the road until we came to the house number 7. I stopped outside and to my amazement, the door was painted green. I looked at Harry and he looked at me. "Go on then, Harry, go and knock on the door." "Sorry, Nick, I can't do it." "Well, if you can't, Harry, I can." I jumped out of the cab, ran over to the door and banged on the door. Nobody answered. So I banged on the door again. Nobody answered. So I walked back, looked at Harry. "Unlucky old son," I said. The sadness on his face was horrible. All of a sudden, the door opened and an elderly lady stood there. I walked back and said, "Hello, love. I'm a cab driver. I haven't come to rob you or mug you. All I want for you is to know whether a lady who lived here in the war was named Elsie." She looked at me quizzically and said, "My name is Elsie." I said, my heart started pounding. "Did you ever have a boyfriend in the war called Harry?" She looked at me like I was mad. "How did you know that?" she said. "I'll tell you how I know that. He's there in my cab. Harry, get your ass over here." And he jumped out of the cab and the recognition was instant. They put their arms around each other and the tears of joy were there for all to see. Harry and Elsie got married and I was the best man at their wedding. You see, every job tells a tale. Happy days. Now, if anybody wants to hear the rest of the stories, which you will do later on, I'm sure you're all going to enjoy them. If you enjoyed this one, you'll enjoy the rest. That's it.